Okay, thank you for joining us this afternoon. If I could just ask if you introduce yourself to us a little bit. So what's your name and how have you become associated with the Oxford Summer Academy?
My name is Mary Callaghan. I've been in education for centuries, ask my students, both in secondary and in higher ed in America. And along the way I had run the study abroad program and was one of the deans at Fordham University. And along the way I had lived abroad quite a bit myself. When I got to Notre Dame at Fairfield, I realized that these students had never had the option of that sort of thing, and I became very interested in finding a program in Oxford that would combine very strong academics as well as the cultural immersion.
Fantastic. So were there any reasons that led you towards Oxford Summer Academy in particular then, or any reason that you chose this course for your students?
I think part of it had to be serendipity. I started literally Googling because I did not know any secondary programs in Oxford.
Absolutely.
And one of the first descriptions I bumped into was your own, Oxford Summer Academy, and your website is voluminous. It has so much good information. I felt when I finished exploring that, I really had a sense of what this place was like, the courses and the academics that you offered, and all of the other entertainment, immersion, internationality. I think that was probably one of the features of the program that we valued the most. We wanted our students to see something else because it's simply not good to live in a cocoon or a bubble.
Absolutely, it's great to explore different avenues and meet with people that you may not have the opportunity to do so at home. So obviously the website was a great insight for you then to what life would be like on the Oxford Summer Academy. You then started dealing with Genevieve Dear, the general manager, and how did you find your correspondence in the lead up to the trip? Did it leave you feeling prepared? Were you happy with coming over here, know that you had everything sorted, had every question in your mind set? Or
I have never in my long years run into a correspondent, a representative of another group or institution that was more helpful than Jen Dear.
That's great.
That is the God's honest truth. I have my first and her first response to me more than 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I call her my pen pal. She has answered every question, big or small, and even as importantly, answering me. She's been in fantastic touch with the parents. Of course, I directed them immediately to the website.
Sure.
But from the get-go, I said, please contact Jen Dear. She can help you with just about any detail, big or small, and that has been exactly our experience. I couldn't think of a better correspondent or representative. She's been excellent.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. It's great that she was so much of assistance to you and the parents as well, because obviously sending your student across being a parent is can leave some concerns when they're going from America to England. It's quite a long journey in itself, a big trip, and then they're not too old, the students, 16, 17, aren't they?
Right.
So that's a big trip for them to go on. So it's very good that you all felt prepared and at ease with Jen's correspondence and answers.
And her answers are timely.
Timely, of course.
She's back to us in jig time.
Even with the time difference.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
We worked out a system where I knew she was answering me probably just as I was getting off, going to work, and by the time I got to work, I knew what I had to say back.
Well, that worked out. That's good. That's good. So that's more sort of the preparation and the lead up to the course, but when you arrived with the students, you came with them across and flew into Gatwick Airport. How did you find that first impression? How was it when you arrived at St Edmund Hall for the first time with the students?
Actually, my first time was last summer
by myself. Of course.
And the time this year with the students was slightly different. I think our welcome this year was as warm and cordial as it was last year. I know from my own observation that the students felt perfectly at home.
Good.
I dropped them off about 1:30 in the afternoon. Then I disappeared because they needed to become part of this community. When I got back for dinner at 6 that night, they waved at me from afar. They were already conversing and with their roommates and chatting away, and I think that's how it should have been. I should not have been underfoot.
They didn't need you to some extent,
Not at all.
sad to
Not
say.
at all.
But
That was the hope.
they'd already got it, felt comfortable in their surroundings, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Have you had much dealings with them since they've been here? Have you had a lot of feedback from them regarding the course?
I saw them almost daily until first Wednesday, through Wednesday when we went to Stonehenge. And then just a little bit yesterday and not yet today. They're completely immersed. They've emailed me a bit, not quite so much as I would have hoped, but I think they've been very busy. And
they have. We've got lots of photos of them. Yes, they've done some great work, especially your young engineers with their LEDs, etc. They've had good fun. I believe so. They seem to be very immersed in the group, though, as you said. It's sometimes hard to pull them away.
Right, and we'll have time to talk and debrief and
absolutely. So is there anything that you would like to share with any others, any parents or schools that may be considering an opportunity like this themselves? Is there anything from the experience that you've had with Oxford Summer Academy that you'd like to share?
All I would do is encourage people, parents, teachers in other schools, students who are looking for an Oxford experience to seriously consider this program. Everything I already mentioned about the internationality, the welcome, the attention to detail, and also the small classes, the tutorials. Your students are not crowded into large lecture halls. There are tutorials with 3, 4, 5 people in it. That's, from my point of view, an enormous strength. And I can't think of better preparation for future college and university students. I heartily endorse this program, and I feel blessed that we have discovered you and you have discovered us, and we hope to be back for many years to come.
We'd definitely love to have you back. It's all, the students have been so energetic. Even some of the other students from different nationalities have mentioned how outgoing they are and how that's really helped everyone join as a group and get on together and enjoy their excursions together and their experience. So it's been really great having them. As you say, when you touched on the group sizes here, they really are sort of 3 to 4 per group, and when they've been in with their guest speakers and their lessons, they know everyone by name and they get to know the personalities. So having that small class size is really a benefit that your students have obviously felt, which is great.
And one more thing, I was very concerned, and I probably will still keep this concern in the back of my mind, that when a school like ours sends a number of students, as opposed to most of your other students who come either alone or maybe with one other, I was concerned that they would just walk around in their own small group, being at home. And that's why I early asked Jen, please don't let us room together. Make sure that they room with someone else. And from what I've seen in the limited time I've seen them in action, I think that they have melded and crossed boundaries and got out of their own comfort zone a bit. And for me, that's really important. A life lesson that can't be underestimated.
No, I second that. I think they've really immersed with the rest of the group, and being so many different nationalities, they've all really got on well together, enjoyed their time together, and I think they've created lasting friendships that they'll want to keep in contact for years on end, which is great. So definitely the experience you were hoping for then, I imagine.
Absolutely, it is.
It's great. Well, hopefully we'll see you back in the future, yourself and hopefully some more students. These ones have been a delight to have, so we thank you for bringing them to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.